Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Danile Tshazibane's podcast. I am super excited to have this conversation with you, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Well, I hope it's gonna be insightful for you because this is revolutionary, man. This is something new. This is innovative. This is something that you don't get to see it every single day from where I come from. Right, so I got a couple of announcements that I have to make. I've got a couple of things that I have to share with you. So just bear with me because this is gonna be a roller coaster. I'm gonna take you on a journey. Right, so grab your cup of coffee or cup of tea or whatever you like, your soda, or chill on your bed. I want you to relax because I want you to listen to me very carefully. I want you to be in the moment when you listen to what I'm about to say and what I'm about to share with you. Right, so we're gonna hit it off with the intro. Right, so this podcast, I know I haven't been posting a lot on it. It has been very inconsistent in a lot of ways. Inconsistent in the sense of, well, I haven't been posting a lot. The podcast, Danile Tshazibane's podcast, is basically me sharing nuggets, tips, some grips with you to carry out the week, to carry out the month, and a year on a daily basis. I would just share randomly with you. And so I thought it would only be fair if I share these topics, these tips with you weekly. Let's say every single Monday, I'm sharing this with you. Tuesdays, I'm sharing that with you. But that's gonna be announced at the end of this show. So I'm gonna tell you what I had this past week. This past week, I was at church. We had a 3-day crusade with Apostle Victor, all the way from Uppington at Pride in Christ Prophetic Ministries. It was an amazing service. I was doing the camera, so I was video recording the whole service, which I'm still busy trying to get pieced together. I don't have a software, an editing software to edit the videos. But however, I do have the recording software, and so I have the footage, but I don't have the software to edit it with. So please be patient. That's gonna come. That's gonna come. It was an amazing service. I learned and experienced my spirituality levels on a whole different scale. Thank you so much for Pride in Christ Prophetic Ministry. Thank you so much for Apostle Victor for coming and gracing us with his presence and his wisdom. May God bless you in abundance. That's what I did over the weekend. And so, well, fast forward, today is Friday. Best believe today is Friday. It has been a long week. And I haven't been posting in about, I think, 2 weeks and a half, if I'm not mistaken, on the podcast. So I think it's only fair that I go into detail with you guys about this. There's no jingles, or what you call it, intro music, because I want this podcast to be authentic, as real as it can get. Everything must be filled in on this podcast, on this episode. Although it's gonna feel like it's boring because you're gonna hear me talk all this time, but I want something to be there when I'm not there, if you get what I mean. And so, in this week, last week, I released an episode on my other podcast on Call with Danile, is the podcast name. I released the second season, first episode with the guest Queen Blazy, and it was an extraordinary episode. You guys should go and listen, check it out. I promise you, she is a phenomenal woman. She is grinding. She's amazing. She pushes, man. She released an EP in the beginning of the year. So if you go check out her interview. She's a female rapper, artist, singer-songwriter, performer from Kimberley. So you can go check her out, follow her, see what she's doing, and get some motivation from her so you can do what she does or do what you do because you're getting motivated from her, right? Go check out the interview. That's what I did last week on my other podcast, and be sure to look out for more interviews because I'm going to be introducing a lot more artists from the Northern Cape on the show. Be on the lookout for that. And I was nominated in 3 different categories. Number 1 was King of Pixley Kaseme District. The second one was Best YouTuber of the Year. Third one was, I think, Best Hustler or Hustler of the Year. Yeah, Best Hustler of the Year. 3 different categories. And the event will take place on the 20th March 2020 in Kimberley. I'm super excited about that one. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you in Douglas, in the Western Cape, Limpopo, wherever you have voted from. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for investing in me and my craft. It means a lot. I appreciate that. So that's going to happen in this month, March. So I have to get ready. I have to get my stuff ready so I can go out there and just go take the awards. I mean, it's on God now. He knows alone if I'm going to walk away with something or not. But the mere fact that you guys voted for me, that you guys supported me, that's enough, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And on top of that, there's so many things that's happening. On top of that, I am nominated in a different award. I'm nominated as Hustler of the Year at the City Awards. Can you imagine being nominated and having an award show coming up while you're, this is crazy. So please go to the City Awards, go check them out. You'll see my name somewhere there, but that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to make with the City Awards is that it's still ongoing, so you can still vote for me as Hustler of the Year. I'm nominated, so it's just for me to secure my spot in getting that award. It's going to happen in Cape Town, so all you have to do is you have to SMS 021 Danile Tshazibane to 350 29. In the SMS box, you have to type in 021 Danile Tshazibane to this number 35029. If you do that, I'd appreciate that. That's gonna raise. Don't SMS one time. It's R3 per SMS. Only SMS one time. Remember that. I'd appreciate that. Right, and what I still need to share with you guys is, if you're from Douglas and you're listening to this podcast and you're listening to this specific episode, you have a business and you are ashamed, not ashamed, I'm sorry, you're afraid, you're shy to come out and share to everyone that you have a business, look, there's only so far you can go alone. Going to the next level, you're going to need an accountability partner. So I'm going to recommend that you contact or get in communication with Dorothy Haas, Senior Haas. So you can go check her out on Facebook. Go on Facebook. She has made a couple of posts about this. If you have a business, registered or not, and you want to speak to someone, go speak to her. She has multiple businesses. She knows people who has businesses. She can help you tap into that market. She can help you. We had a meeting, a youth meeting the other day. It wasn't this week. It was about how young people, and in general, most people have these ideas, and they have these ideas. They put these ideas on paper. It's beautiful to have these ideas on paper, but if you do not execute on these ideas, it absolutely means nothing. It's just the same as having knowledge and bragging about this knowledge, but if you cannot apply this knowledge, it absolutely means nothing. It doesn't count. You get what I'm saying? So we were having these discussions with Howard Haas and Kathy and Danile Tshazibane. So we had an amazing meeting. I walked out of that meeting realizing that as a black child, you have to kind of like create your own opportunities. You have to change your perception. You have to change how you view things in life. I honestly believe that when I went in that meeting, I already made up my mind back in grade 7 about what perception was people having in Douglas, was people having in small townships, because I've been in different townships in different places, and I've studied people, human beings to be specific, and I've seen how they behave, and I've seen what they say, the heart and the tongue. It made me realize that we're all different. Think about it. Look at what this person is doing, this person's habits. And you're asking yourself this question: is this really the road that you want to go down as? Is it really adding to your dreams and your goals? And so it ties into what I learned from the meeting. And I think when you listen to what I just said in the meeting that we had, please go speak to Dorothy Haas. She will give you an insight about things, business things, advise, consult, even help you where she can. Please go look out for her and speak to her about your business plans. I promise you, you won't go wrong. Yeah, and that's that. And another announcement that I have to make: I'm still busy with volume 2 of Mature Dreams, my mixtape. Super incredible. I already released volume 1. So for those of you who does not know, Mature Dreams volume 1, please go check it out. It's on YouTube and Audio Mac. Volume 2, however, it's still in process because it's hard finding a beat, and I just don't want to find any beat. I don't have a producer who would produce me a song, or we would be in the same studio to produce a song. I don't have that, so I would have to go on YouTube, download beats, listen to beats, free type beats though, and just get in the moment. And sometimes when I've been downloading so many beats and I just can't find the right beat, It's not in the moment. It's not what I want. There's a specific style that I'm doing it right now. I didn't want to come out. Like, I already released, I think, 2 or 3 singles from volume 2. It's called I Had It and 25 Years in, I'm not sure what's the title, and the other, Knock Knock Knock, I think 3 or 4 songs that I released from volume 2. That's kind of the feel that I want to go for. Quality storytelling and yet trappy. That's what I'm talking about. But it's kind of hard to find these beats because when you are looking for a beat, the words that you want to put on that beat and the story in which you would like to share on that beat, it has got to sink in so smoothly that when you listen to it, you need to be able to rap back at it. You need to make someone feel something when that person listens to that track. That's the level where I'm at on volume 2 of Mature Dreams. And so I just don't want to, as soon as I'm done with volume 2, I promise you, from that level onwards, it's all the way up. Because I'm going to tell you now, I've released a single, which is an amapiano track. It's titled Phelindaba. It has been trending for 2 weeks in the Kasi, in Douglas. People loved it, and I appreciate that. I got a shout out to every single one of you who played that track in your car, in your houses, in the tavern, wherever. I appreciate it because that track has allowed me to see the joy that music brings into people's hearts, So much respect to everyone who supported me through that track. And now here's another thing. I stopped recording and writing and finding beats in the middle because Phelindaba just came in. It came in at the right moment. I've been writing Phelindaba for I think 2 or 3 years now. It came in at the right moment, so I had to stop writing volume 2 of the mixtape, and then I had to continue. Now I'm continuing writing the mixtape, volume 2, and it's hard to get back to hip hop. It's so hard because now I'm like, I spoke to Queen Blazy about this on my other podcast, and I was like, yo, this is so difficult, like finding the bars, finding the right words and the momentum, the tone, everything. It's hard to bounce back from writing a house track. For some artists it could be easy, but for me, I'm still like waking up from having a knockdown of an amapiano hit track, So that's why I've been taking so long with volume 2 of the mixtape. I've got features on the mixtape that is honorary. Am I saying it right? Honorary. No, I think it's honorary. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Or let me just say it's bliss. It's a blessing to have features with artists such as Young CO3, Juicy B. I'm also going to introduce, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, a new and untapped talent from Douglas. Artists from Douglas, aspiring musicians. I am going to tap in with all of Douglas. I am going to connect with them. I'm going to holler at them. I'm going to record songs with them. I'm going to feature them. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, I am waiting on SAMRO. They said they'll take about 4 weeks before they can respond. So I'm just waiting for them to give me that approval. As soon as I get that approval, I'm submitting 2 of my songs to radio stations, and it's gonna be. I know they'll accept it, but it's just I'm waiting for SAMRO now, man. SAMRO, if you're listening to this podcast, please approve my email. Please approve my application. I've been waiting for I think more than 4 or 5 weeks now that I've been patient. But when SAMRO approved my application, then it's over for the game. It's over for the game because I'm gonna get in the radio stations with my lyrics. Submitting my songs with positive energy. Like my lyrics will touch so many lives. I promise you, I'm gonna make sure of it. You know why? Because right now I'm not writing music just for writing. I'm writing it for the glory of God. That's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it. I told myself this year, I'm not gonna do anything, any content creation, if it's not glorifying my Lord. In some way, somehow, it has to. I have to find a way, So when SAMRO approves my application, I'm gonna be so happy. Because I'm gonna be hitting up KFM, OFM, YFM, 5FM, Massive Metro. I know so many radio stations in South Africa that you will not even believe. I've been studying these radio stations like nobody's business. It's interesting for me how patient and persistent I am in this game. 25 years, and you look at the young cats that has already done it, that has already reached the level where they initially wanted to reach. But I was like, I'm waiting on my time. Patiently waiting. But pushing, working, grinding, always studying myself, always meditating, praying to God, and doing the best I can with what I have. And so I would like y'all to know that it is important for me to let you know that I've spent like 8K on my dream. I bought like an HP laptop and a microphone, condenser microphone, recording microphone. That's one that I'm recording with now. That is as brilliant as the ones that you get in stores that is like so expensive. And so these are my assets right now. Got 2 beautiful things that I bought with my money. I could have bought a new juvie, decky or Adidas or trouser or something like that. I didn't bought none of that. I bought my dad a grinder and I bought my mom some plates and stuff like that for Valentine's. So I'm sorted, man. I'm sorted. I'm investing in my craft. I'm investing in my dream. I know it's gonna take some time, but I know what I'm doing with my money. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm saying this is because for years I've been writing and recording on my phone songs. I have now over 280 songs that I have written and released on my phone. It's out there. I don't even see an article written about someone who has the most songs in South Africa. But I know I have the most songs in my hood. I am the only artist who has the most songs in my hood. I'm the only artist who has the most songs in my province. I don't see any article about that. I might be one of the first artists who will have an article written about, yo, you got the most songs. But I heard Youngster said he had 30 mixtapes and a couple of EPs and features. That's cool and all of that. But how many songs do you got? But I'm asking this question in general. Yeah, you might have more streams. You might got money. But I'm not going to be outworked at this age. In this time, I'm not going to be outworked. And I think it's only fair that I come clean about this thing. I have written over 280 songs. That's incredible. And so, to all the young cats, I need you to understand that good things comes to those who wait and work. I'm going to say it again. Good things to those who wait and work. You don't just get to wait for stuff to come to you. You work while you wait. And you don't give up. And you don't just rejoice when things are going good. You have to rejoice when things are going bad too. You know why? Because you don't get to celebrate every single day. When you're in the game, you gotta know how to stay in the game, how to stay relevant. As Tory Lanez would like to say, stay relevant. Another announcement, which is gonna be the last of this episode, is that I'm going to be introducing to you guys, which I have released on YouTube, and I would love to share it with you guys on Anchor, on Apple Music, on all the podcast platforms. I've got like 2 seasons that I want to bring to this podcast of Study at AFDA, which is like a series where I have shared my experiences with the university that I have studied. And I think it had added a lot of value to a lot of people's lives, because I was talking about something that was truly unique to me and to the next person. So if you're out there and you want to study at AFDA, or you are studying at AFDA, this podcast series exclusively is for you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your love and support. I'm gonna be real. This podcast is one of the greatest podcasts that I've ever had to done. So thank you so much for your love and support. I will be, in the coming week, I will share the series Study at AFDA on this podcast, from the first season to the second season. I think I'm completely done with the second season, and I will see you in the next episode of Danile Tshazibane's podcast. It has been a palm-pleasing, pleasant pleasure to have this whole conversation with you guys. I hope you had some insights. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, because it's just chilled, amazing, man. It's just amazing. It's the first time that I'm feeling doing a podcast at this level. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will be seeing you in the next episode, or well, let's say after the premiere of Study at AFDA series, season 2. Thank you so much. My name is Danile Tshazibane. This is the Danile Tshazibane's podcast, and I'm out. Peace.